And Patrick Mahomes is good to go. We'll start the AFC Championship looking to beat Joe Burrow for the first time. Joe Cool and the Bengals looking to stay hot and win their 11th game in a row and get back to the Super Bowl. Here's a look at the most popular props for both quarterbacks. Mahomes under his passing yards prop of 285.5 and Burrow over his rushing yards prop of 17.5. You can see the AFC title game 6:30 Eastern on CBS. All right, back here with Todd Furman and Kenny White. Start with your top Mahomes prop, and under his passing yards of 285.5 is the most popular Mahomes prop. Kenny, do you also like that under as your top Mahomes prop?
Well, I do, Hakeem. I'm still worried about Mahomes' injured high ankle sprain and his status. We know he's playing. We know he looked good. It looked like a stunt double, walking off down two steps and out the room without a limp was very shocking to see on Wednesday. Everyone has talked about it, those high ankle sprains. You can come back the day you do it, but boy, it's going to hurt the next couple of days after that. And it usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to come back from that. And he looked like he didn't even have an ankle sprain. But I still worry about him not being 100%. One hit could take him out of this game. So it worries me how long he will actually last in this game. It also gives me comfort, though, going under, knowing the Bengals defense has been so good all year long, and they've even been better down the stretch, and they've been great in the second half. So I'm going to go under with Patrick Mahomes passing yards.
Kenny, this is a market where hopefully we can both win our props, because I'm going to go a slightly different approach with Patrick Mahomes, but I think he's a little bit healthier than what we anticipated early in the week. But the Chiefs have to be smart. The key is getting the ball out of Mahomes' hands quickly, not letting him become a sitting duck in the pocket. And you saw their transformation offensively last weekend against the Jaguars, where he did a lot more improvising, got outside the pocket, held onto the ball for an average of 3.1 seconds. After he injured that ankle, it was 2.6 seconds from release. And I think you're going to see a lot more rinse and repeat with that mentality in play here, with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy having a full week to kind of scheme up what Mahomes can do best. So as a result, I'm going to go over 25.5 pass completions. There's no doubt Kenny brings up an excellent point, talking about the fear of re-injury, which is very real here if he gets rolled up on. But when you look at Mahomes, he's going to have to get it out quickly. He's going to have to trust his receivers, both running backs, tight ends, and wideouts, to try and make plays in space and a defender miss. I'm not sure where the yardage ultimately settle, but I think Mahomes is a gamer, and assuming he plays 4 full quarters, I think he completes 26 passes or more, despite not having gone over this number in 4 out of his last 5 games.
All right, guys, let's look at the other QB1 under center for the Fighting Houdays there in Cincinnati, and CEO there. You look at Joe Burrow, and he's been playing well. Bengals records in pass attempts, completions, and also TDs, also 3-0 against Mahomes in his career. So, Todd, what's your favorite Joe Burrow prop in this AFC Championship game going down Sunday afternoon?
So, honestly, Larry, when I looked at the Joe Burrow numbers, I felt these were fair reflections of some of the expectations that we're going to see from Joe Burrow, from his yards, from his interceptions, from his completions, and all of the other metrics that are there. So I'm going to kind of take a slightly different approach here and fade what was a tremendously productive rushing performance the last time he faced these same Kansas City Chiefs. Carried the ball 11 times for 46 yards. And we know quarterbacks are much more likely to take off from the pocket, especially in games of this magnitude, when protection breaks down around them. But when you're looking at this offensive line, I think they got a bit of a free pass last week, given that the Buffalo Bills weren't able to generate much. When you talk about playing in snow, that often works in the offensive line's favor, because all it takes is getting one hit on some of those defensive linemen. They can't plant, they can't generate speed, and it puts them in a precarious predicament. So when I look at Joe Burrow's rushing number here at 17.5, I actually think it's a touch inflated based on the strength of one long carry that he had last week against the Bills. Look for Burrow to get the ball out of his hands quickly. I don't think he's going to want to take a lot of opportunities to try and extend plays or even scramble, knowing that Chris Jones and company could be barreling down on him. I'll take him under 17.5 rushing yards on Sunday.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, Todd. I don't think that Burrow will run either. I think he's going to throw, and that's why I'm going over in the passing yards. 277.5. His season median's right around that, on the road right around that, but it's just looking at what he did against Kansas City the first time out, just 31 attempts, 286 yards in that contest. And I think it continues to get better and better in that passing receiving core that he's got with Chase and Higgins and Boyd. That's just such a solid receiving core. I think they have a big day passing it. Chiefs ended up bottom 5 this year in fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks, a below average pass defense. I think Burrow has a big day.
All right, good stuff. Kenny and Todd there. Guys, we really appreciate it, guys. Watch it on Sunday as we watch the AFC Championship game. All right, let's take a break. After this, actually, we got to get the QB props in here. Todd is going with Mahomes over 25.5 completions. Burrow, going to run it a little bit, under 17.5 rushing yards. Kenny White, well, he's going Mahomes under 285.5 passing yards. Joe Burrow, over. He's going to have a good day, 277.5 passing yards.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.